Hello.
Got a lot of new faces this year before the season, trade deadline, even before that. How did you view your group, and how did you guys kind of assimilate everyone and go as far as you did?
Yeah, great group. I think definitely, especially on paper, I mean, one of the best, if not the best, Stars team I've been a part of. I think that's what's the most frustrating part of being in this position now. I mean, obviously, great run, and being one of the last 3-4 teams is incredible, but still trying to get over that hump.
Jamie's going into this offseason. He doesn't have a contract currently. He said he's not making any decisions, but if he comes back and plays hockey, he wants to be here.
Yep.
You've played with him for a very long time. What has it been like to be on this ride with him, and what influence do you think he leaves in this locker room if he does choose not to come back?
It's a big question. That could be a long answer. Obviously, amazing time. How long has it been? I don't know, 12 years with him. I mean, seen him grow up, seen him get married. He's a dad now. I mean, kind of gone through this journey together. So many amazing things to say about him and his growth and the leader he's become, leader he was really since I got here. One of those guys that, I think about when I'm on this journey in the last couple of weeks and getting so close and trying to get this job done for a guy like that. And just trying to share that championship and that feeling with him. I was fortunate doing it in my first year and just knowing what that means as an older guy now, knowing what that means for a group, whether it's having the same text thread with that team in Boston till this day, and seeing the older guys that are now retired or living on a boat somewhere, and just that bond you get from being successful together. That's what we're chasing here, and it's what Jamie deserves for what he's been through here in Dallas. And playoffs in hockey don't care about what you deserve, so we're just trying to break through.
How's your year been with the whole surgery and recovery and just what you did at your house and everything? It just seems like it shows how much you want to win the cup.
Yeah, want to win, want to be a part of these runs with these guys, want to be a part of the solution for the city of trying to get a championship here. A memorable year for sure, off the ice with some difficulties and struggles and having a baby, some amazing things, and thinking that this was going to be the year, and had a great chance, great opportunity. I know it doesn't come back often. It has here the last few years, and we need it to continue.
How do you feel physically? Do you think it'll be a good summer? And
good, yeah. Yeah, no, I feel good physically. Felt like I kept getting better. Have mobility I haven't had since I was probably 13, so hips feel good. I was maybe a month or two of training left of a section in a phase I couldn't really get to because of timing that I get to now with this off season, and I'm going to take full advantage of it.
Jamie talked about learning from guys like Brendan Morrow, Joe Pavelski. How did you see him develop as a leader throughout your whole time with him?
The whole time? Hairstyles, everything, right? We've been through so much. I don't know if we were immature back in the day, but we're definitely a lot more mature these days. So yeah, I don't know what his plan is. He's a secretive guy in that way. Maybe talk to him over the next few days, but there's not a guy that wants to win more, especially here, than him. We love having him as our captain. I think he enjoys it too, so hopefully that sorts itself out.
Keith, how have you liked playing for Pete, and what's the belief within the room?
Yeah, very high. Had multiple coaches in my career. Not to put them down, but he's still my number one. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league, and resume speaks for itself. And where he got this group over the last few years, probably quicker than we all thought. Really, maybe we thought that this was supposed to be the first conference finals. It doesn't really click as quick as it does with a coaching staff, and I think that's sometimes forgotten about with our coaches and with Pete. And there's a great system there in place. There's a lot of belief. There's a lot of care and love for each other. and that'll happen pretty quickly. So, no, love Pete.
Pete said that every guy, coaches, staff, players, have to look in the mirror after this and see how we can get better and get past this. What does that mean from a player perspective? What does that process look like?
I think you start with controlling what you can control. Obviously, it's a line hurt a lot, but you start with yourself. You go in this off season and focus on what you need, what your body needs. For me, it's obvious, I want to get strength in my hip. For another guy, maybe it's, I want to go in this off season and think about having a bigger voice next year. We have a group right now, and why we're good is because we have this kind of layered group of ages almost. We got the older guys, which is Jamie and Daddy. Then we got me, but no, we have this like kind of different section, different group, and I think that's why we're good. Is it kind of we can figure out, everything from what's relevant on TikTok to politics to we kind of hit it all, and that's why we're good, and that's why we're going to continue to be good. There hasn't been a big transition period, and that goes back to Jim obviously and how good of a GM he is, and so yeah, I think it's a big summer for all of us.
Tyler, there are going to be changes, but you had a great line a week or so ago about you don't get to go 3, 4, 5 years to the conference final and take advantage of it.
We need to though.
Do you feel like this group still is set up to do it again?
100%. I mean, for sure, I think there's going to be a few changes. There has to be. I'm glad that's not my department, but I think as a player, we just always we trust in what our bosses are doing here, and we got to focus on what our job is. How can we get better? What can we learn from this year? There's things to learn from every year. So what are those, and individually and as a team, and try to keep taking that next step.
One of those things that won't change is Miko will be around. He's just now starting an 8-year deal.
Yeah.
What did you learn about him, and what do you think it's going to mean for him to now have a whole all season to kind of integrate with it?
I learned why his nickname's Moose. I play with some great players. I play with some star players. I don't know if I've played with someone at this level, being able to turn it on like he did in playoffs. But even when, at the end, when he wasn't scoring, how detailed he was defensively, how he was in puck battles. I think it was an easier transition for him than other teams because we have a lot of Finns and we kind of are Team Finland. I think that helped. But I think that's a guy, too, that now he's going to get more comfortable with us, probably going to have an even bigger voice next year, another leader that can step up, and is going to make us better.
You said that you guys obviously had a lot of rush in your game and that tries to come playoff time. You
Yep.
find that secondary element and maybe find a hybrid of those sorts from what you guys have been good at and what you need to do. Is that easier said than done, though?
Maybe yes and no. I think that's something you got to develop maybe as the season goes on. I think maybe that's why Pete's touched on, our losing streak to finish the season. Can you flip a switch? I typically don't think so. Mind you, we did. Maybe that caught up to us. I would never think we're a team that would lose 3 in a row, mind you 4. So I think that's a learning curve right there for us to understand that, a regular season game and a playoff game is different. We're dominant on a rush. We're dominant in the O-zone. Some of those things aren't there going to play against Winnipeg. They have big guys. They play a layered system. They're tight. Our typical routes in the O-zone aren't there like they would be against Detroit or who knows in Game 50. So maybe that's something we take from as a learning curve. Next year, we're focusing on that finishing stretch, trying to get to that playoff level a little quicker than figuring out in playoffs.